I think you do need to be worried about extremely wealthy elites. Yeah, I think what's interesting, you look at the founding of the United States. These guys, the founding of the United States conceptually is really based on these ideas of distribution of power. That's why you have the president and the House and the Senate, and you have this independent judiciary. They're like, we cannot allow power to become concentrated, because they came from a Europe which had extremely concentrated power and extremely wealthy elites and extremely broad poverty. So I think that allowing a small group of society to increasingly monopolize power and wealth over time is obviously something we should be worried about. But primarily, the reason that I worry about wealth inequality is because I see and I bet on and I make money on the fact that it causes living standards to fall.
By the way, I actually really agree with you. And the founding fathers of the US, they did, especially around the 1900s, they did want to break up monopolies. And breaking up monopolies was one of the big things that they did, trust busting, where they broke up Standard Oil and all of those sorts of things. One thing I do really see happening at the moment is that we have a stupid, outdated definition of monopolies, where we use monopolies the same way they used it when they had the oil companies that owned all the oil. In the technology world, a monopoly is formed through an ecosystem. So Amazon, for example, owning AWS and Audible and this and this and this and Whole Foods, it creates a fortress that's almost impossible to compete with. And Google owning YouTube and Gmail and all of this, they create these fortresses through ecosystems. One of the things that I do think we need to look at is compulsory breakup of big tech once you hit a certain time, because it's very difficult. Because do you know, billionaires have two big fears, right? Keep them up at night, having nightmares. Number two is high taxes. Number one is that startup entrepreneur who disrupts their business. And they want to kill that early. You know, Steve Jobs at 24 years old disrupted IBM. And Jeff Bezos disrupted Walmart. So they are terrified of entrepreneurs in the middle. And they want to create government regulations to say, hey, you know what? Let's cap entrepreneurs at 10 million. You can get to 10 million. It's okay for us. We're way past that point. But Gary's our guy because he's going to cap everyone at 10 million.
I never said cap anyone at 10 million, by the way.
Well, because what do you think will happen? People stop.